What is up, guys? Bones88 here, and I have some huge news for Dragon Champions. The devs just announced the big 1 year anniversary update, and I can't say enough. It is awesome, and I think a lot more people, not just me, are very excited about this. Lots of stuff to go over, so this might be a little long one because there's lots of reworks, 2 brand new characters, Battlegrounds, reworks. There is all kinds of stuff. So if you guys are a Dragon Champs player and fan like I am, you are going to be ecstatic about this. I will say some of this stuff I've been testing, but not all of it. And they say that there's a surprise too that none of us know about. So even though I'm a tester, guys, there's so much stuff here to go over that even I haven't seen. So after I read all this stuff and go over it and give you guys my thoughts, I think I'm going to do a separate video on the 2 new characters. So don't expect all that here in this one post. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go over and go over the 2 new characters so I can show you what they look like, what their kits are, so you're not just reading text. So if you're not subscribed, do that. You'll get a notification as soon as that's done, and that will be out in a couple hours after this is released. With that being said, guys, let's get into it. I'm very excited. I'm excited for you guys to see it too, so let's get into it. Okay, so we're over here on my Discord. This is the whole update here. So I'm just going to read what they have written and go through it, and as they tell you stuff, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So let's get on. Alright, greetings, champions. It's almost there. The big content update is coming to the stores next week. We are happy to present to you the reworked Battlegrounds, new tournaments, new gear level and items, as well as some new heroes, plus rebalanced old ones. Improved and more precise power calculation formula. And that's not all. September 30th is our first anniversary, so you are welcome to take part in a special tournament, special event, and treat yourself to presents. We have also planned a surprise, so please stay tuned. I do not know what their surprise is, so I am very excited to see what that is. Alright, what's new? Reworked Battlegrounds. We already know what's going on. We've been talking about it, thinking about it. We have exhausted ourselves on, about the new Battlegrounds. We all know what to expect. I've released a video on that. If you have not seen it, I will put a link to it at the end of the video, but for the most part, we know what we're expecting. I'm very excited. It's going to give us more stuff to do, more stuff for me to stream, and it's just going to be a good time. I think everyone will be pretty satisfied with the new Battlegrounds, and that's pretty much all I got to say about it. If you want to hear more or what it's like or what to expect, go to my test footage of the Battlegrounds on my channel. Next up, reworked tournaments. I have been testing these tournaments, and if you guys would like me to show off all this stuff in the update, I've been given the go, so I can show you guys in like a live stream, or I might just do a live stream and then put it on YouTube. Just comment below and let me know what you guys think or what you want me to do, because I'm more willing to show off this stuff. Like, I can show you physically what this stuff looks like if you guys want me to. I will show off the characters, the new tournaments. I can show you more Battlegrounds. I can show you everything. So just comment and let me know. Do you want me to do some streams? Do you want me to just make a video with all the stuff in there? I might just do that anyways. Just let me know. But the reworked tournaments, great. Every complaint you have about tournaments has been fixed. You can back out of matches now without being punished. You can't lose points. All you can do is gain points. There's lots of other stuff too. I can't think right offhand, but you guys will love it. It's a huge plus. Whenever you see that, don't think, oh, what do they do now? No, it's great. And I have not much more to say about that, but just every complaint anyone had about it, they fixed, and they did a great job on that. So just expect tournaments to be way more fun to play, and you don't have to be worried about, losing the match, so you don't move up in ranks because you're scared to hit somebody that might beat you. You can go and all you're going to lose is a ticket. Anything else is just a plus if you beat them. So, next up, okay. New heroes. Zalanar. He's an orc, fighter, mage, and of course he's an orc, so he's with the clans. He's available exclusively from the new tournaments. Well, there's nothing on there, but from the new tournaments store. There's going to be a new store, I believe, and you get currency from doing tournaments, and you spend. I don't know what's in that store. I haven't got to see that yet, but I'm guessing Zalanar will be in there, and you buy his shards. He is considered a legendary. But he's not being unlocked through an event. He's being unlocked through currency in a store. So I'm definitely okay with that. And like I said earlier, we will go more into him on my other video where I'll do him and this other person we're about to see. Okay, I'm not sure why they put Zalinar at the top and the other hero all the way to the bottom, but I'm going to do them together. So we have Zalinar in the tournament store, and also we have Titania. She's really cool. She's an elf defender, and she's really cool. She's not OP or anything, don't get me wrong, but she's really fun to play with, and she has the possibility of being OP, because when I show you her kit in my next video, you're going to be like, wow, she sounds pretty awesome. I haven't got to test her a lot, but what I have done is she's pretty cool. She'll be available in the next Battle Pass called Season of Nature, and she'll have a special season chest just like Garrett did. So she's going to be unlocked just like Garrett was. I'm very excited to show you her too. Next up, we have new achievements and rewards added to the game. It says, perhaps you have already unlocked some. Don't forget to pick up a lot of cool rewards. Pretty much, these new achievements and rewards are more towards the in-game players. I don't know what they are right offhand or anything like that, but it's just a small little thing for the in-game players, and I have no complaints about that. That's more rewards and more loot, so I'm totally down with that. Next up, new power calculation formula. Worry not, we didn't change hero stats, but we did change the formula, how the total power is calculated, and now it demonstrates heroes' actual power with more precision. Okay, this isn't a big deal to anybody, but this will be a big deal. This is going to make tower mode somewhat easier. Your matchmaking, it's going to be more precise because you have more way to more fluctuation with the power levels. So let's say you're level 50 in arena. Well, if you're level 50 in arena and you go to the tower mode, you're going to get smoked because it's based off what your shard is, and you're just going to go up against all these other teams in your arena that are just going to kick your butt. If you're number 1 in arena, you'll be able to do it, but you have to be like top 5 in arena in order to beat tower mode, and it shouldn't be that way. And it's gotten complaints for months from everybody. No one's a fan of that. So they're doing this new power calculation formula so that the tower mode will not. It's going to be easier. It's not going to be simple, but it's going to make it so that it's achievable if you work hard enough, like on manual and everything, to work up to tower mode. And that's how it should be. I just hit auto because there's no use of even working on the hard mode because I can't beat it. I'm top 25 in my arena. That's pretty high up, and I still can't beat it. So this is great, and all the games have done it. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes done it like 2 or 3 times, and this kind of has to happen every once in a while so that it can keep up with the game, and it just helps matchmaking. And that's one of the biggest complaints in this game is matchmaking for all modes. So great addition. I'm looking forward to just that alone because I've been wanting to do tower mode. That's something I could stream too, and a lot of people can get out of it because no one can beat it. Only a select few people can beat hard mode tower, and I'm ready to get to where I can auto sim that. Alright, next up, added 2 more slots with artifact keys and artifact upgrade keys to the star shop. So there's just more keys available to you in the star shop. Can't complain about that. That's when you're an in-game player, you have so much currency in the star shop that you have nowhere to spend it. So that's good. And artifacts and upgrades are a huge thing in the game right now. It's very important to do. So have no more complaints about that. There's a new special event, Runic Knowledge, that will help you get to know more about the runes and will bring you some sweet rewards as well. So this Runic Knowledge, I didn't know about this. I haven't tried it, but it sounds like it's just an intro to runes and stuff for newer players so that you can understand it more, because there's not really anybody to tell you except for content creators or YouTube videos to tell you how they work, you know what I'm saying? They don't really go too in depth with it. So it sounds like it's a beginner little guide, maybe campaign nodes. I don't know about that. I was not aware of this, that they were adding it. But it just sounds like it's more for newer players, and if you're an in-game player, maybe you need to go back and get the rewards. But that's cool. I mean, some games forget that just because you understand it doesn't mean everyone else does. And some games forget to kind of explain some things, you know. So nothing wrong with that. Updated the reward for complete all daily quest. Updated the reward for complete all daily quest. Now players of level 60 and above will receive a 50 artifacts key instead of 5 Corkum hero stones. That's awesome. 50 artifact keys? That's every 2 days you can open up an artifact chest with that. That's huge. 5 Corkum hero stones? That's terrible. He's one of the worst characters in the game. So that's a huge. I didn't know about that either, but I am definitely applauding for that. So far, there's nothing in this update I have disagreed with. Love it. 50 artifact keys, that is a crazy amount. If you're complaining about that, I think you're just running out of things to complain about, because that's crazy. That's good. Okay, here's a big one, guys. Here's a big one, and this might be the one that everyone gets mad about. And I'll give you my thoughts after we read it. New gear items. Each hero can equip 5 more items on Gear 11, and there are 20 new legendary items that can be found in campaign, guild raid T8, tournaments at level 80, some events, and in a special Gear 11 chest and special shop that refreshes once a week. No additional refreshes will be available for that. Alright, there's a lot just in that one little area to take in there. If you haven't played a hero collector game, when it says new gear items and they're allowing you to put 5 more items on Gear 11, that means Gear 12 is coming up very soon. My thought about that is I'm a little I know why they're doing it, but it's not the right time for it. There's not enough stuff for us to do for them to already slap on Gear 12. I know that this is the only hero collecting game where it goes to Gear 11. All the other games are Gear 12 and up. So, is it too early? I mean, I don't know. My thing about this is everyone has gotten so spoiled with this game. We've gotten so much for so little for so long that we're kind of spoiled. So when we see these things, we're kind of like, what? Are you kidding me? So I'm not against this. It's going to make our already strong characters stronger, but it's going to kind of separate the new players from the in-game players, which is kind of what needs to be done. And it's giving us more stuff to work on, because we're all complaining about things to work on. I think this is kind of a cheap way to throw this in real quick, and it'll give us something to work on. I don't think even in-game players are going to be happy about that, because there's no gold. If they want us to do this with the Gear 11 stuff, they need to start giving us more gold. But here's a plus. They're giving us a lot of places for us to farm this stuff. It's going to give you incentive to get the guild raid T8 figured out faster. They rework the tournaments, and so it'll be easier to get this stuff from the tournaments when you get to level 80. There's going to be events where you can get it. There's a chest that you can get it. And there's going to be a special shop just for this, and it only refreshes once a week. And even whales can't refresh it and keep getting it. So I like how they kind of limited what you can get, but there's still a lot of places to get it. So I'm kind of in the middle with it. I think it's a little soon to be adding this stuff to it, but I understand why. It gives the in-game players a little more to grind towards, and they're making it to where it's not like really hard to find. And when I started playing the game, I was surprised that you can only go up to Gear 11. Not much more to say about that. Very controversial. You're going to get a lot of people complaining about it, but once again, we're kind of spoiled, and every other hero collector game has Gear 12. So it's going to make everyone stronger, give us some more stuff to grind towards, and it'll be okay. I'm not real mad about it. I just kind of think it's a little too early to implement that. The 1-year anniversary celebration begins September 30th. That is 5 days away, guys. Not long. You have 5 days to prepare for all this stuff. As a tester, it's hard to test all this stuff, and I've been trying to do it, and we've only got a short notice, so it's a crazy amount of changes and stuff that they're going to be unloading onto you all at once. All this time we've been sitting here with the kind of the staleness of the game. You guys are about to get hit right in the face with content and all kinds of stuff. Like, I am so excited. So take part in the special tournament, event, collect rewards, and be ready for a surprise. I don't know what the surprise is. Even I don't know what it is. I'm ready to see. I'm so pumped for this. And they've already gave us so much, and there's just a surprise. I hope that it's going to trump everything they've already shown, because it's going to have to be. If you're keeping this from testers and everyone else as a surprise, it's going to have to trump this stuff, or else no one's going to care. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I keep speculating about a new faction, but they've gave us these 2 new characters, so I don't think they're going to announce a faction. I've been wanting a faction, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've been speculating a faction, but I don't think that's going to happen, or they would have already told the testers about it and everything else. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I'm very excited to see what the surprise is. So Season of Nature will begin on the 1st. So just because the update hits on the 30th you won't get, obviously you won't get the battle pass till the beginning of October, which everyone knows. So I went over Titania earlier. So there's some bug fixes. You're now able to open a chest that's expired if you have keys for it. I didn't know that was happening, but I'd be mad if I had, season, like for the Garrett season, if I had keys for him and I wasn't able to use them because I was hoarding them or something, and all of a sudden it's gone. So I would be pissed. So that's a good bug. I didn't know about that. It also says, in this update we not only wanted to introduce some new content, but to touch some balancing issues as well. We followed your feedback about buff and the current meta in the game. Like you, we really want to bring meta diversity back, as well as to give those who don't have buff a chance against current arena meta teams. That's why we are introducing some more balanced changes to buff, as well as tweaks to some good old heroes in the elves faction. This way the elves can be another cool and synergetic team for the Battlegrounds. We can't wait to see what team compositions you come up with these changes, and hope to see a lot of new builds on the arena, Battlegrounds, and beyond. This is also about to get controversial. Buff has been nerfed, which is very ironic. They've been nerfing Buff a lot since he's been out. And the event is so hard that it might frustrate some people that they're nerfing Buff. A lot of people are complaining about Buff just dominating the arena. And for a game like this, it's more healthy to have like a rock, paper, scissors type of arena, where maybe you have, like, Buff might be the best team, but you have one or two other teams that can take him out if you manually do it, or if you have the right composition. Like, there's a counter to everything. Right now, the only counter to Buff seems to be another Buff team. And you don't want that. You don't want mirror matches, because then things start to get stale in the arena. So a lot of people, even people with Buff, are complaining that he's just too dominant. There's not a lot of diversity in the meta. Like they quoted up there above, that's what they want. They want more diversity in the meta, so they're nerfing Buff again. I don't really care. I stay in the same with the arena, about 25 with him anyways. So this next section here is going to be the reworks for the elves and the nerf on Buff. So let's get to it. Alright, I'm not going to read all of Buff's abilities and stuff. I'm just going to tell you what they changed. Okay, so his first thing on the dice throw, he used to get ability block for 2 turns on his dice throw. They changed that to 1 turn. So I mean, that's a big change. But they're trying to make it so that he can be defeated by other teams, and right now he can't be. Also, his leadership ability, they dropped speed by a lot. Used to, he would increase the speed of all allied demons by 30. Now it's 15. Once again, I'm interested to know what your guys' thoughts on this. Like, let me know what you think. Are you mad about that? Are you happy about that? I haven't got to test it much out to see how it works. I don't know if it makes him, like, horrible, because I don't want Buff to not be the meta team. We just want someone to be able to counter them and be kind of consistent countering him. Doesn't mean that you'll win every match, but you want like a team that can counter him maybe like 70% of the time. You might lose 30% of the time, but for the most part, you win more than you lose. You want that kind of team. Not where they're dominating Buff, but where they are able to punch up and beat Buff. So I haven't tested it much. Let me know what you guys think about that. Are you a little worried about it? Are you happy that it'll be more diverse in the arena? Just let me know what you think. But those are the 2 nerfs that he got. Nothing else was changed, but those are 2 giant nerfs. And I don't have much of an opinion because I haven't been able to use him much, and testing wise. Okay, so that's all on the nerf for Buff. Now we're moving to the elf. Now we're going to be here for a while because there's a lot of buffs on these guys. But we're going to the elf reworks. Okay, first up we have Illyria. We have her 3rd ability, Star Orb. Used to, upon landing a critical hit, she would heal the ally with the lowest health by 50% of the damage dealt. But instead of that, they have changed it to she applies 2 stacks of regeneration to the ally for 2 turns. Now before I get into this, they're kind of out of the way, out of order, where you need to know and understand where they're going with this rework. But they've reworked Nightingale's lead, and we'll get down to that too. But they've formed this team right here that we're about to go over, and it's like regeneration based. The more regeneration this team has on them, the more damage they're going to do, and the more other stuff they're going to do. So it's very based on regeneration. They also changed the Force of Nature passive ability on Elyria. It says increases magic damage by 25%, an additional 5% for each living elf in the party. If Phalia is on the battlefield, she receives the same buff. So I think that was the same, but they just added the Phalia part, where she gets the same buffs as Elyria does. And that's it on Elyria. Next up we have Singiel. I've done some testing with these guys, not a lot, but I've done some testing with these guys, and they are a lot better. But I will say Singiel still sucks as far as stat-wise, because no stats were increased or decreased. It's all just the abilities. Singiel, on his Sunshine basic ability, he used to just inflict burn for 2 turns. And, I mean, I always thought that was okay. I mean, to inflict burn on the basic, that's pretty good. But he just did a terrible tune, so it didn't really matter. But instead of inflicting burn for 2 turns, you inflict blindness for 1 turn. And that's a big jump. That's really cool. To be able to put blindness on a basic, that's really cool. So I can't hate on that at all. Also, on his passive ability, Nature's Wisdom, they added some more synergy with Phalia. So, Phalia is a big central part of this team that you're going to do. And I think they mainly did all this rework for Battlegrounds, so you have more of a team to put out there, If Phalia is an ally, at the end of his turn, Singiel applies regeneration to her for 3 turns. That's pretty crazy. And you'll see why, because all these kits are based on regeneration. So if you can keep Singiel alive for long enough, he's going to be feeding regeneration to Phalia, and they're just going to be pumping out some damage. Okay, this is a huge kind of controversy too. Nidiel. My thoughts are, I like Nidiel just where she's at. But her only role is to be like a co-partner with Soleus. So I kind of see how maybe she's fallen out of use for the most part, because the only use she has really is being with Soleus. So they're giving her more of a role to play in the game overall. So I understand what they're doing. They want more teams for Battlegrounds. I understand that. And they made her a badass. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is what I'm about to read is crazy. But I'm kind of in the middle on this too. But I think we'll come to find out like this is way cool. I haven't really got to work with the Nidiel lead much yet. So I don't have a real strong opinion on it. But I'm kind of like in the middle on this. So, Nidiel, her leadership ability, Invoking the Moon. I'm just going to read this whole thing so you kind of get the idea of what they're going with. The accuracy of all allied elves increased by 20%. They have a 20% chance to remove 1 buff for each living mage or healer in the party. That is huge. Removes 2 buffs instead on a critical hit. That is huge. And what her leadership used to be is upon landing a critical hit, allied elves recover 10% of their maximum health. Upon landing a fatal blow, allied elves recover 25% of their maximum health. I mean, that wasn't even that great of a leadership. She just got buffed, boy. Buffed. I mean, that's a huge, huge, huge leadership in its own. She went from a crappy, to mediocre leadership to a crazy one. Like, I don't know if you guys understand, but she is removing buffs just for the amount of people in her party. Not for any other reason. She has a 20% chance to remove 1 buff for each living mage or healer. So you start adding in mages and healers that aren't necessarily elves. You can put other people in there. Cruel, whoever else is mages and healers. You can just put Soleus. So I have a feeling that Nidiel is going to be more of a broad, not just elf leadership. Which is crazy. Like, that's a big, big deal. So eventually she can have way more than the 20% chance if you... I'm not a theory crafter, but there's going to be theory crafters that come out with a crazy team with Nidiel that doesn't necessarily have to be all elves. And they're going to do some crazy removing buffs. And that's going to be the team that probably counters buff, if you think about it. I mean, it's going to be crazy. And if you're hitting critical hits, you're removing 2 buffs instead. Like, that is nuts. I'm not going to keep dwelling on that, but just don't undermine that leadership right there. It is crazy, crazy. It's going to be crazy OP. Just trust me. And that's all they changed on Nidiel. Everything else is the same, but it's a huge change at that. Bigger change than any of the ones we've went over so far. and probably the biggest one in the whole rework. It is crazy. Anyways, enough of that. Moving on to Thalia. Her passive ability, Woodland Might, increases magic damage by 20%. When the battle starts, Thalia receives 1 regeneration for 2 turns for each defender or healer in the party. If Singiel is an ally, 100% of healing from regeneration above maximum health will be converted to shield. That's a little complicated, but I'll go over what that means. Let's finish what it used to be. Used to be, if Illyria is an ally, Thalia's magic damage increases by an additional 5%. If Singiel is an ally, Thalia's magic damage increases by an additional 5%. So, kind of a pretty trashy passive, what she used to have. I mean, it's not horrible, but it includes Singiel and Illyria, which before these reworks were trash. So, pretty crappy passive. This new passive is crazy. She's increasing her magic damage by 20% instead of 5%. She's getting regeneration for 2 turns for each defender or healer you have in there. You're getting a new elf defender, all kinds of healers, so your magic damage can shoot way up. Singiel's getting a rework, and if you put him with Nidiel and put Thalia in there and Illyria in there, you're getting all kinds of regeneration. And so going to the 100% of healing from regeneration above maximum health will be converted to shield. So let's say you have 90% of your health. You have a bunch of regeneration, and you're about to get 40% from regeneration. So you're at 90, you get 10 from the 40, and you're at 100%. What's going to keep going past health? And whatever is past health that you're getting from regeneration is all going to be converted into shield. And we on the test servers, we were like, how do we word this easy? It's kind of hard to explain. So you got all this regeneration on you, and you have near full health. Well, it's going to fill your health up, and whatever's left of those regenerations are going to convert into shield. That's huge. That's really huge. And the elves as we know it has been completely changed, and these crappy characters are going to have such great synergy with these other characters that it's going to make a really good team, and it's really going to surprise people when it comes to actually playing these characters. So that's all with Thalia. She only had 1 change in the passive, and that's a big change too. And all this is going to work together in this team, and it's going to be crazy. Okay, next up, last but not least, I don't know why we care, because we do not have this character. She's down there. You can go look at her in her kit, but there's no way to unlock her, no way to play her, and this makes me think that she's going to be released soon. This might be the surprise. I don't know. I don't think it's a surprise, though, or they wouldn't have put all that stuff on there. I don't know. It's all speculation. Anyways, Vanessa is where I'm getting to. They gave her a rework, and we never even used her before. Her basic ability, it now deals 200% of magic damage to an enemy. Poisons the target for 2 turns. And it used to be 2 stacks of poison. I don't know what the difference of that is. What's 2 stacks of poison and poison for 2 turns? I don't know in the game, I guess, good enough to know what the difference is. So, yeah, you have that. Alright, that's about it, guys. What is left is Zalinar, who is the Orc Legendary. And then we have Titania, the Elf. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and you will, as soon as I get that video done, you will be notified when it is. Very, very, very excited, guys. 5 days away. 1 year anniversary. A lot to look forward to. A lot to look forward to. And like I said, if you guys were just going to be patient, that I think it was going to pay off eventually, and I think it is going to pay off. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Let me know down below if you guys want me to do some streams of this new stuff. If you just want like a video of it all kind of put together, let me know, and I will do it. I am down to do it. I am very, very excited, and I want to show you guys everything to look forward to. If you don't want it spoiled, tell me that too, and I'll just leave it be with this. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. XMG. I am Team XMG for the rest of my life, every day, forever. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. With that being said, I'm out of here. I will get that character video out to you guys very soon. Love y'all. Peace.